She is beautiful. The hair, the eyes, the cheeks, the dimples. I mean, just wow. Somebody should sing her happy birthday. I mean, like,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Chris.
to you.
Chris, your microphone's on.
Happy what?
what?
The microphone's on.
Crap, we're on.
Stop.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, I have to hit the button, don't I? Give me a second. Here it is.
Take Athena down.
There we go.
Okay. Are you? Did you finish your little private moment with Athena? Yes. You were gushing over the welcome everybody to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. Never mind, I'm New York Pete, and Tipsy Toaster Chris was. If you got the chance to see, he was just in the moment with Athena because I think it's what.
It's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
See?
Happy birthday, Athena.
There she is again.
Maren Jensen.
Look at that.
Oh, boy.
She is just beautiful.
Oh, boy. Sean says, Sean, welcome to the show. He says, you guys wearing red shirts. I'm worried for your safety. No, that's the wrong show. That's not. That's a different show.
Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the sci-fi streams. Things explode. Yes. New worlds are created. Aliens invade. We don't want to cross the sci-fi streams. The fandoms will start the war.
Himself.
We'll have Trekkies and Star Wars people. Unfortunately, the Star Wars people outnumber most everyone out there fighting each other in the streets with lightsabers and phasers, and the Battlestar Galactica guys and gals will just be in the alleyway hiding out, waiting for them to finish each other off.
Hanging on the side, sidelines. Kenneth, Razor Ramon, Jeff, and let's see, Mediocre Modeler, and Sean, of course, John Paul, Macias, and George G, and Lee. Thank you for joining us up front live. And as you guys come on, you know that we always like to do the shout-outs. I'm bringing out my phaser. Cole says Razor Ramon. All right, hey, take it easy, man. Pierce Slater approves. Absolutely. That's from Jeff.
We could start a whole new thing right here. Is it a blaster or is it a laser for Battlestar Galactica? We could go hours on this one, by the way.
The gloves are coming off. Gloves coming off,
man.
Bad. And we're going to go bare knucks on this one. Pierce Slater approves. John Van Gostein, of course. John 1 will be on, of course. Hey, Rob, I didn't hear if, there was something pertinent in, did something happen to Maren Jensen? Well,
no,
Rob,
no, she's perfect.
There you go.
She's right there.
Yes, you heard that.
We should all be singing. Come on, everybody join along and sing.
Okay,
let's do it.
Happy birthday. Oh, my God. Take that. What are you're ruining it, man. What are you doing with that voice?
To you.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes. All right.
I don't know what the problem is. She won't return my phone calls. And she also won't return my texts.
Oh, here we are.
She won't return my emails.
Yeah.
And she won't return my letters. Well, she actually returns the letters all the time. She doesn't write back.
That's because she doesn't.
I even knocked on her door, but I think she moved.
You wish. You wish every one of those things you said were true.
I wish I could just get in touch with her to see if I could get her on the air. It's one of my.
Yeah,
It's always
no
been one of my
kidding.
dreams is to interview her, but she has
You and
dropped out of the
thousands
Hollywood
others.
scene and does not want anything to do with it. So
Yeah, unfortunately.
I have tried a number of times. I actually had one person say that they did have contact with her, and
That was sketch.
that was sketchy. But
Yeah.
it was. He said that she was not interested in doing an interview, and
I think he was obsessed like you.
nah, not like me. I'm much more. I mean, yeah, he's probably more obsessed than I am.
Oh boy, hey, Chris,
She
do you
doesn't
have,
need to know about Cassie and me. That's all there is to it. But
That's it. That's it.
You know.
Do you have a beer tonight? Did you go get yourself a
yes,
beer?
I got a beer. Did you get a beer? We got two different
I got
beers
a
tonight
beer.
because we have
we
to
do.
sponsor our own beers tonight. So
That's
we have
right.
two.
Well, we always sponsor our own beers. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? There's exceptions. We did have.
oh, we had
did have-
Battlestar.
Yeah, 2 brewers sent us. Right, there were 2. And
What was the
this
other
is
one?
Mythos from Greece.
Yeah.
And
That's got
this
an interesting
whiskey
top to it. I always thought that was, can you show the top to that? I mean, I know this is not a beer show, but it looks kind of cool. Hang on there. Let me get Pete Cam up here.
There we go.
So
that.
it's a kind
It's
of an
pretty
interesting
cool.
opening top
Yeah.
to it.
And it's got the Pegasus. So right.
Is that a Pegasus?
Great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a Battlestar beer. It has the Pegasus on it.
All right. All right, let's do
Well,
it. What do you have?
Well, mine. Well, let's see. Let's get
It's
the Chris
plain
Cam
old
up now. Let's see. There's
Uh-oh,
me.
Chris
There's me.
There.
Hi.
Tipsy
How y'all
Toaster.
doing?
Hey.
Hello. I am saving the robots again. I think we did
Save
this
the
one
robots.
already.
Yes.
So
East Coast IPA. Save the robots.
we're going to save the robots because the robots matter.
Yes. And you
All
are a
robots
robot.
matter.
You're a robot.
Yep. All robots matter.
That's right. So,
So
all right. And
All right,
let's
so-
do this.
hang on.
Good.
Oh, my microphone. I moved my microphone closer, so now it's a lot more difficult to open my beer in front of the microphone. It's like right here. Ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
See, you just ripped Pegasus apart.
That's
you're
right,
horrible.
I did. Yes, I am. Oh. Oh.
You're not going to overfill it again, are you?
Almost.
Not as bad as the last time when I dumped mine on my keyboard. Reaching over. Looks like I'm. Woo, yeah. So here we go. So we always say Pete and I would be here no matter what, but it's important that we get the fans together and we get the fandom involved and we get to see what other people are doing for the fandom. And that way we say that the fans fuel the fleet. And this is to you, the fans, for being here and for carrying on the sci-fi traditions of all of the different shows. Here's to you.
Bottoms up, everybody. Here's to you. Fans fuel the fleet.
At least we can say
That's
it.
good.
My daughter, on a couple of the interviews, I don't know if you'll catch it or not, but she gets her tongue tied and she says, "Fans fuels the feet." And she's like, "Was that noticeable?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." Fans fuel the feet. What?
Oh,
Did you
boy.
say it again?
Oh, that's
And
funny.
then when you're doing a live interview, it's not like you can. All
No,
right,
you
we'll
can't.
fix that in
It's done.
post.
No.
Doesn't work that way.
Finished. Yeah. All right.
All righty.
Mediocre modeler.
So,
Cheers all, and happy birthday to Athena. That's right. And Greg Goodwin, thanks for joining us. They talked about having tried to contact interview Jensen. She was not interested. Yes, Chris was rejected. Sorry, Chris. Happy birthday, Athena. Anyway, Marin, we love you. We would like to hear from you. And
she lives on in my head
yes,
and on my
Wow.
wall.
and the giant poster that you
A giant
have
poster on
and
the wall.
the cutout, and oh boy.
At least I didn't go about and get the. You can get her on a shower curtain, but I just couldn't do that.
Oh boy.
I could
all
not
right.
see mold on
Enough.
Marion Jensen or the wrinkles
boy.
or soap scum. That was not going to happen. So I couldn't do that.
You couldn't defile the perfect
I could
image.
not.
Right?
Oh yes, definitely could not defile the
It's
purpose.
all about that. Yeah.
But
All
we
right.
just
Well,
everybody, we just don't need to tell her about Cassie and me. Okay, so there's just
yes,
it's okay.
that's we're
Just
going to keep
that
that
separate.
on the down low.
You
On
know,
the down low. All right. It's too bad you didn't get to meet some of the all-star ladies at WinterCon in New York City right before AllCon. That was it was a missed opportunity, but it's all right. It is what it is.
so it is what it is. We'll catch them.
Yeah.
We'll
We
get
will.
we'll get
Hopefully
to them
we will.
sooner or later.
Yeah, we
They
will.
don't return my phone calls or my emails either. So
Well,
this is a joke. I'm not stalking them. Honest, okay.
So, bottom line though, Chris, we not only have awesome guest waiting for us in the wings. We're gonna talk about some of his work. We're gonna talk about some of the writing skills and abilities and some of the things that he's working on. So Neal Litherland is waiting for us. So when we're ready, he's gonna be coming on shortly. And then after that, we are going to be doing comic book from Realm Press. And when we get to
number
that,
3
we'll have
tonight.
a special. Yep, number 3.
We're almost
I'm
done.
gonna make a special announcement.
I'm sorry, not number 3. Number 4 tonight. We're almost done.
Number 4, we got to get it right. Oh, you know why? Confusion was because we added one of the shots.
We didn't have. We added Sanctuary.
Yeah, we did, which is a one-off. So that's probably what happened there. So when we do the Realm Press comic book, we will. We're gonna make an announcement. We have somebody lined up, and so we're gonna make that announcement. And then, of course, we're gonna go to the Cylon Death Machine, and we will discuss.
That sounds good. We're gonna go to the Cylon. Hang on, I gotta do that.
We're gonna go to the Cylon Death Machine.
Chapter 23, because as the Tipsy Toaster would say, the Cylon Death Machine makes the best named heavy metal band.
Damn right. That's got to be a heavy metal band.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to show off some of the stuff that I got after we bring in John One, and he's going to give us a fandom update. And then let's not forget that we're going to New York Comic Con, and so that's looming.
Yay!
Coming
I can't
up
wait.
soon enough. Oh yeah, we're gonna have.
I made all the travel arrangements today 3 times.
Yes,
so.
You did, and in the end,
I've decided to drive.
And then they're gonna be driving.
Yeah, I reserved train tickets, and I'm like, wow, these are a little expensive. I wonder what a plane ride's like. And I reserved a plane ticket, and I'm like, oh, it's about the same price as the train. And I thought about, well, wait a minute, why don't I just drive? It's only 4 hours. So then I made reservations in Pete's driveway. So yeah.
Listen, Chris, don't be embarrassed of driving that Tesla that you have.
Oh yeah,
it is what it is.
I wish. I'll drive a Tesla, as long as it's the dual drive, the one that goes to like 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds or something like that.
It's the future, buddy. It's
I'd be in
definitely
trouble.
the future.
Although I would have to have some kind of stereo system that has some kind of rumble sound to it. Otherwise, it's just not. It sounds like my old '69 Camaro I used to have.
I have a neighbor that has one. It's like silent. It's really cool.
It's scary. What'd you get hit by? Nice. I got hit by a Tesla. I didn't hear it coming.
No, not at all. All right. So we have John One waiting in the wings. Chris, so you want to set him up?
John One. Here's John.
Hello, everybody. You hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Loud and clear.
All right. No glitches. All right.
No, don't jinx yourself now.
I know.
No glitches. Hey, hang on. Let me turn your audio up and down now just to mess with you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is John One reporting for Interfleet Broadcasting and Comics News. Netflix has teamed up again with Dark Horse Comics for another series. The first one was the Umbrella Academy, which is pretty good, but this one I'm looking forward to even more. This one's going to be, they're going to bring Grendel to the screen.
Who?
The comic book series Grendel, the vigilante. It was a pretty good comic.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll do good in the series, but we'll see. That should be coming in about 2023. So we'll see. Also, a Red Band trailer is out for DC's animated movie Injustice. Superman snaps and violence follows. That's why it's a red band trailer. I just see it. See it October 19th. DC will unveil another Batman series, Batman the Imposter, which looks pretty good. Some good writers and good artwork. See that coming in stands in October. Venom #1, yet again, is coming out. But I don't know how much more Venom can do, but get it in October. Let's see. My sci-fi book pick for October is Perhaps the Stars. It's a peaceful world. Everyone gets along, and the only thing that keeps it peaceful is that people are mathematically planned killings. So until a group of heroes try to disrupt the system before that number is up.
What
More
was
like
the
Logan's Run.
What was the Philip K. Dick
Logan's
one?
Run.
What was the Philip K. Dick? Philip K. Dick. Mick Jagger was in the movie.
Oh.
Where they planned killings.
It was also like a Logan's Run.
Yes.
Free Jack.
Free Jack. Yep.
Free Jack. So that movie, yes.
The movie's called Free Jack. The
good.
book was called something else. I don't remember what it was. It was really good though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
See it October 19th. Tom Hanks' sci-fi film Finch has just released his trailer. Tom Hanks plays an aging robotic engineer who survives the cataclysmic events on Earth. A solar plume destroys the planet, and he's left with his dog and a robot that he makes. It looks like a pretty good family film. I'm going to enjoy it. See it out on Apple Plus November 5th. Disney's Kenobi series has just finished shooting and released its trailer. Darth Vader, Darth Maul, oh my. Release date to be determined. New York Comic Con is coming October 7th to 10th. Hopefully I'll be making my pilgrimage there. I haven't got my financial officer okay yet, but I should be going there. About time. I live here. Brooklyn Horror Con will be October 23rd and 24th at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Just scared to drive there. I mean, I'll check it out, but I'll have to check it out if I can make it. Well, if anyone has any sci-fi news for me, trailers, or suggestions, drop me a line at lonecenturionone@gmail.com. This is John 1 signing off. We have a great show tonight. My friend, author Neal Litherland will be on. Neal just got Old Soldiers. Looking forward to reading it. Back to you guys.
All right, John. Thank you.
John, thanks a lot.
All right. So we're looking forward to hooking up Comic-Con, man. It's in our backyard, and we're getting Chris out here, so that'll be kind of fun.
I think Chris is driving.
Yeah, Chris is driving.
This will be my first one.
And you live there.
Boy.
How long have you lived in New York?
All my life. I'm ashamed.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone I know goes to it. I just haven't gotten the chance to get to it. Hopefully I'll be able to go the 7th and the 8th.
There's a first to everything.
All right, I'm muting him now. He's never gone. I mean,
I'll make my pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage. Yes. Pilgrimage. He's a pilgrim going to Comic-Con. I got to get him to go to WinterCon too, man. Free Jack was based on a book called Immortality, Inc. by Robert Sheckley, not Philip K. Dick. Thanks, Rob. Rob Baum's on. He's on the edge. Thank you. All right. Very good. Jeff.
I was probably thinking Blade Runner, which is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. That's probably what I thought.
Yeah. And The Man in the High Castle. I mean, the guy did a lot of work that was turned into various types of works. So speaking of writing, authors, and turning books into all kinds of different things, we have a guest, and he is a writer, and he's got some pretty cool stuff out there, and we're happy to have him. And so let's welcome Neal to the show. Neal, if you're ready, we're ready for you. So Chris, if you want to press the magic buttons, and let's get Neal up. Hey, Neal, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to IFB.
Huzzah! Thank you for having me.
Outstanding. So, Neal, we're really curious as to what's driving you into this profession of writing. I mean, you're an author. You've authored a whole bunch of things. You're, amongst other things, you're into sci-fi, and we want to talk a little bit about that. I personally visited your the literary mercenary uh, is your blog, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have the business of writing, the craft of writing. You have my vocal archive. You have your Patreon link, Amazon author page, Pinterest, and I found it to be rich with a lot of really, really cut to the point, information that a lot of our fans who are writers, who write for various reasons, professionally, amateur, fan fiction, etc. And some of the things that you have up here, I'm really impressed. I really enjoyed reading some of this, and there's a lot to read. Haven't read all of it, but I'm on it amongst your books. So how? Tell us about that. How do you get into this?
I am just pleased to know that somebody is reading it and getting something out of it. It's sometimes hard to tell. As to how I got into it, it's yes, as when we're children, our parents always tell us, you can do anything. You can, and they'll see you do something, whether you're drawing a picture, or you're writing a story, or whatever it is, and they'll be like, you could do this. And most of us, as we grow up, we get wiser, and we know that, well, maybe they were just saying something to be nice. I never had that revelation, so I just assumed that I should keep writing things. But it was, yeah, it's mostly something I've been trying to get into. No, I'm here now, I suppose. But I started around freshman year of high school. I think is when I won my first like contest for it, and it sort of plays neatly into your other question of I started the literary mercenary about 10 years ago, and it was mostly me hoping to take what I'd learned and the various holes I'd stumbled into, and to give advice to other writers out there who is sort of what I wished I would have known when I was getting started, of things not to do, red flags to look for, or just methods that'll make your life just generally easier, because the profession's hard enough as it is.
Which is really cool. And I guess that's kind of what I must have tapped into when I started just, you know, um, reading some of, your articles, which, like I said, I really enjoyed. I tapped into some of these right away, and I was like, wow, I wish I had kind of known that before. It would have made things clear at a minimum, at least, my perspective. Reading this, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. So that's your uh, let's say tips and tricks, so to speak. You have a lot of stuff on your literary mercenary blog, which is very, very cool. Highly recommended. But I really also wanted to bring up Old Soldiers. You were kind enough to send us reading copies. I was reading it, and we touched upon a mutual like, and that is the world of Warhammer 40K. And I
Yeah,
recommended a book, and you told me that it was the Warhammer 40K world is something that's close to your worlds in terms of inspirations and the like. And so there was something that I told you was the Emperor's Legion on audio. I just finished it, and it's I highly recommend it for anybody that's into this, like military sci-fi. And so that I think is a path that may or may not have influenced you. Tell us about that, and your book, of course, The Old
absolutely.
Soldier.
So I suppose it's, we when you're a part of any sort of fandom, you have friends and they have their interests and their books that they like. And I was sort of looking for something new, and I had a friend of mine who was big into 40K, and he was giving me the pitch. This was many years ago when I actually like wrote the manuscript. It was a bit of a trunk book, so I'm very pleased it finally made its way out. But the first book that he recommended me, I believe the title is the Space Wolves Omnibus, and his sales pitch
Hmm.
was really easy. It's Space Marines and they're Vikings and it's in space. Just read it, you'll love it. And it wasn't a bad book. There's no shade thrown at the author, no competition there. But it's a thing that happens sometimes when I go into a book expecting it to be something that it's not. Of
Hmm.
I'll be disappointed that what I'm getting is not what I thought was going to be in there. And so it was like the action scenes were great, and I was enjoying the characters, but it felt like it kind of ignored most of the human aspects like of our main cast, and that was something I wanted to get touched on, but I can't write for the Black Library, so I had to create my own universe to explore that idea. And so I took, our protagonist. For those who have not read the book, Pollux is like 9 feet tall, 500 pounds, can throw a bank vault at you if you annoy him, and he's a decommissioned bioweapon, for lack of a better term. And the story is kind of following around him in his dystopian setting, and we see the world through his eyes. We watch him try to adjust to this place that was never really meant for him or people like him. And it was just themes I wanted to touch on that are possible to do in like the gonzo pulp of 40K, but we didn't get as much of the, you know, can you determine what you make yourself once you've left behind, the career of a soldier? What do you do when you're raised by, scientists and drill instructors rather than parents? What do you do when society, reveres you as this great hero, but at the same time, like, none of them really understand what it is to be what you are, because you look like a person, but there's just such a gulf between what you were made into and what average people's expectations are. And while we're drawing inspirations, folks who haven't seen Soldier, it's a film with Kurt Russell, highly recommend. Was also a big influence on where I wanted to go, like with my main character and sort of exploring his potential.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Definitely in my, I'd say almost in the top 20. It's really good movie, and he doesn't have a lot of dialogue in it, so his acting in it, and it's a tight story. Really good movie, so that's really cool.
And it just got
And
added
I
to
also,
HBO Max for everybody who's looking for it.
oh, fantastic. I thought this concept that you mentioned, you were inspired, and you saw something in that the 40K Space Marine world, and you said, well, you know what, I'm not on their roster to write for them. I'll create my own world. And you did. You created this book, which is called The Old Soldiers, and I myself started reading it, and I found it extremely interesting, and I can see where now these parallels are coming into play that you just mentioned with your characters. And I find myself enjoying it very much. Tell us about some of the other stuff, because you have you've written other works too. So tell us a little bit about some of the other works that you do.
Absolutely. It has been a busy year, and only some of my stuff shows up on Amazon. Anyone who's watching this who recognizes my name and is wondering, it's like, why do I know that guy? If you're a fan of tabletop RPGs, you've probably seen a lot of my work there. It's probably 20 to 30 times as many projects. But
All right, hang on.
speaking
Sorry.
of,
I,
yeah,
I
no
can't get
problem.
rid of my
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah, so speaking of RPGs, if anyone like digs through my Amazon page, you'll find The Irregulars, which is military fantasy fiction. It's a piece I actually wrote for Paizo Publishing many years ago, which is sort of squad based, like behind enemy lines, special forces team of like washouts that nobody else wants. My two recent well, one recent novel and the part of the series that came before it is I call it my Cat Noir series. Of it's set in New York,
Excellent.
it's grungy back alley investigators. There's threats around every corner, and nobody's telling you the truth. Also, your main character is a Maine Coon who lives behind a deli. And so
That's
it's
funny.
very like Humphrey Bogart film noir, but played completely straight. The entire cast are all just street animals. Their humans exist, but they don't really pay any attention to them. The human
Excellent.
characters are treated the way dogs are treated in normal fiction. So that's kind of the fun conceit of that one. And from a cat's view, since it's up on the screen there, has the original short story where the idea came from. And when I took that book to a con, everyone was like, "This book has cats in it," and they threw money at me. So I decided I needed to do more of that.
Hey,
Yeah,
it works.
if you're a fan of sword and sorcery, Crier's Knife is very pulp fiction, very kind of somewhere between Conan and Shane for folks who like fun genre blends. And then just down through the rest of it, there's a lot of short stories I've been it's a tip that I've written about on my blog since we mentioned it earlier about how you get into becoming a writer when you may not have connections or you may not know a lot of people. If you go to any search engine and you type in like open submissions short stories, you'll just get all the magazines, all the publishers who are putting together books, and they'll tell you like these are the short stories we're looking for. We want about this length, this subject matter, important stuff like that. And I spent probably 2 years, I'd say, doing 1 to 2 short stories a month, just building up as many contacts that way as I can. And most of those are actually still in print. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
That's interesting. Who was the we had Pete's better with names than I am. We had another author on here. I have actually two authors on here that talked about how they started out with short stories, and they were it said, if you want to be a writer, you practice, and the best way to practice was to do short stories because you do so many different ones, and you can do so many of them, other than making one big novel and then crashing or not working at all. So yeah, so you're not the first one we've heard that from. That's really interesting.
I think
It's
you might be
a
talking about
another. Oh, sorry.
Jason Abbott. Neal was one of the guests that we had, and he
Ooh,
does
nice.
micro
Micro.
fiction. Microfiction.
That is a lot harder to do than people think it is.
Yeah, and it was really cool. Like he read some of his stuff, and it was like, wow, very cool.
Yep.
I would have thought
yeah,
something that was a couple of sentences would have made you think,
There's actually an older piece of mine. I think it's still up on Vocal. I was just sharing it around earlier on Twitter. I started doing it on a trend that I had some fun with, and since we're getting into that time of the year, it was 2 sentence horror stories. And it's,
cool.
it's just that idea of like how much of a scare can you give someone in 2 sentences, and it's tough. Almost as tough as like the 6 sentence short story. I think it was it Hemingway who started that trend? That sounds right. I think it was a Hemingway.
I think it is.
Well, Neal, the idea that you also do RPGs. I know that I read that you were doing like averaging like one a month, and then you kicked it up during the pandemic, and through whatever came out of it, you started doing like 2 a month just to make ends meet and stuff. So you were cranking out all kinds of I guess they're extension modules for various RPGs. So what is your range? Do you do only one, or is it a few others that you're into?
It's I kind of have like 2 solid deadlines a month, and then I'll have a third back burner project, whether it's something bigger that'll take me longer time to get to, or something that doesn't have as firm a deadline, so I can kind of work on it when I have the spare energy. Right now, the third slot has been filled with doing modules for either Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons. I just turned in a project that hopefully will be out before the end of the year. It was a night at the Slaughterhouse Inn. So that's a nice little spooky one shot. I'm starting another module for Josh Heath. I don't remember which publisher he's going through for it. But yeah, that's my third slot, and then the first 2 that I have every month. There's going to be one thing for my Sundara: Dawn of a New Age, which is an RPG setting of my own design that I'm just sort of building one book at a time every month. And then there's for the past like year or so, I've just been doing the second supplement for World of Darkness or Chronicles of Darkness for people who play, Werewolf the Apocalypse, or if you're a fan of Changeling the Lost, games like that. It's just stuff to kind of help you get into the game. Those details that while you're juggling so much of the rest of the world, you might not want to come up with on your own. Things like, what's my character's call sign in the secret society I belong to, or who's the antagonistic mega corporation that we're going to have to sabotage, this particular week. And so it's not easier like than writing fiction, but it's very contained, and it's got a different structure. It's kind of like writing instruction manuals for helping other people do their world building, which is its own challenge in and of itself.
So Neal, what about the convention scene? Is that something that you do? Is there any chance
I love conventions,
see
which is Yeah, it's made the pandemic particularly hard on me. Of conventions were sort of the only time I left the house.
Okay.
But yeah, I did like WindyCon and Capricorn in Chicago. For anyone who's been out that way, they're lovely little sci-fi cons. Maybe 1,200 to 1,500 people on a weekend. They're
Oh
not
wow.
huge. But, I would occasionally do Gen Con when I had someone who needed like help with their booth or who could get me in for it because I'm in Indiana, so it's not that far away.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to make it to Worldcon next year. All things considered, knock on wood.
Cool. Cool. All right. So there is there's hope to actually run into you, maybe get a field interview and get some of your works autographed. So these books that we were looking at on Amazon, some of them are available paperback, which is cool. I just noticed. I think it's let's see which one. Which one is? There's a couple of them, like Painted Cats, for example, and Mark Territory, uh, um, Crier's Knife as well. So and Old Soldiers, of course. So they're there and they're available as paperbacks. So we are looking forward to the rest of your work. There's got to be more. I mean, you're cranking this stuff out. Uh, do you foresee other tales in the Old Soldiers world, or is this just a one-off?
I wrote it with the intention of it being a one-off, but I had sort of a secondary plot because the for those who have not read it, there will be no spoilers, but it's a very geographically contained story. It only takes place, within the city and the immediate area. But the conspiracy that we get brought into is implied to go beyond that, and it was one of those of I'm probably not going to shove a second one out. But if readers are clamoring for it and they decide, like, I really like this cast, I want to know what happens to them afterwards, I have plans for it. I just need to dust them off and make sure that folks get what they want.
Very cool, very cool. And I think the fans are going to want more of it because it's
I hope
actually
so.
very, very cool military sci-fi. So I'm enjoying it very much. I always have a soft spot for good military sci-fi. So,
Ha.
oh, looking forward to that. Thank you very much. So, Neil, we want to make sure that you keep us up to speed. Let us know when you're making any convention appearances. And when your next book comes out, please definitely shoot us an email. Let us know what's going on. We want to keep tabs. Uh, I personally recommend The Literary Mercenary, and I really got a lot out of it, and I continue to. So I encourage those fans, those supporters that watch IFB that are into writing. This is definitely a nice place for you to stop by. You're going to definitely get some good pointers here. I thought a lot of what was here was really well put together. So, hey, let's support where we can and those that deserve. So, Neil, thank you so much for taking the time out. Looking forward to seeing more of your writing and more of your work. So, obviously, keep at it. I know you got your hands full, but again, keep us in the loop. Let us know when you're, next up, and we'd like to hear from you.
Absolutely. I will make sure that you find out as soon as I know.
Outstanding. Thanks, Neil. All the best, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
So, Chris, right, we have yet again another great author with a nice blog that gives a really, really good advice on, what an aspiring author might be looking to overcome in terms of, there's times when you either get the writer's block or maybe you don't know what to do.
Right.
I thought that there was, there's the craft of writing and there's the business of writing, right? And there's some really, really good articles on his blog. I really, really liked looking at some of these things, and there's quite a few to read up on. Not to mention his books and his other work. So it's kind of fun to hear how Neil, is crafting and doing his stuff. So it's really cool. I'm glad we got meet and hear a little bit from someone that's all up in that whole writing thing and enjoys good military sci-fi. So hey, Bobby Thome is with us, and Paul Roeder joined us.
And Lola.
Oh man, Paul Roeder, the Commander Kane of Battlestar Galactica. Thanks for joining us, Paul. Really appreciate it. So yeah, there's a little bit of chatter going on, and it's somehow somewhere out of military sci-fi we started talking about stronger Daggets.
Daggets rule. I'm telling you.
Yes, Daggets rule.
We need to do a whole special just on how many times Muffet saved the Galactica.
You know what? I think it has to do with Neal writing about cats. That probably triggered the whole pet thing, and we went into Daggett. So there we go.
Hey, Grimskull's on too.
Lola's here with us too. Grimskull, welcome to our live broadcast. We actually just wrapped up a nice little guest speaker. Neal came on, and please watch in the rerun. For those of you going to watch it later, don't forget to visit and see some of great work that we discussed. Sorry, I'm catching up. You're late. No problem, Grimskull. It's good to go.
Yeah,
Lola, of course, made it. She, I don't know what happened. Lola stopped at the Copacabana momentarily. We tell her, Lola, stay away from the Copa. It's over.
Away.
You missed.
It was Rico. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, Grimskull. I don't know if you have seen any of his things yet. He does. If you're into, best way of saying, graphic arts and doing the graphics, he's kind of the one I've gotten some of the stuff I've done on here. So like the outlines here, I've kind of learned how to do that from him and those kind of things. So that's why Grim catches up on us every so once in a while. So I'll throw him a shout out. He's starting a new job called Overland Geeks, which they're going to be doing live streaming from in the wild type deal. They're going to hook up a trailer and him and him and one other, or they're going to go out there and just live stream and do, how they did it and how to minimalize and all that other stuff. So it's kind of neat.
Very cool.
Check them out if you get a chance.
All right, fantastic. And Mediocre Modeler, of course, has his own show, Go Out and Build Something.
Yep.
And Sean Shallow has Battlestar Bulletin Board, and he's always got some really cool stuff up. Like stopping in on both of them and watching their creations and things that they got. And Colonial Warriors with Paul Roeder, an older Battlestar Galactica group that's been out for a long time.
Yep.
And
pretty
that's
large group,
another great group. So yeah, absolutely. And of course, Rob, thanks for sending up your messages and keeping us on the right track with background information. Appreciate that as well. So impartial geek will be doing the minimalism.
Yeah. Grim's not going to minimalize. He's going to help.
I'm the graphics guy.
He's going to be the graphics guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's no way I could do that. I can't. All the stuff I've got, there's no way I can get rid of it. I can't do it. I mean, how would I get rid of Cylon Buddha? I mean, there's no use for Cylon Buddha other than he's cool looking and you can rub his tummy and everything. But
yes, and wish for more Galactica items.
And wish for more Galactica items. But I couldn't, I'd have to keep all my Galactica stuff, and the size of the trailer it's not going to happen. I can't do that minimalization thing. I can do a maximalization.
Oh, so this is how you balance the universe, Chris. Right? So Grim is the minimalist.
Yep.
You're the maximalist.
I do a maximalist. So I'm going to buy a hotel and put all of my stuff in it.
So the minimalist versus the maximalist. You are the maximalist. Yes.
I open up a museum. That's it. That is a museum or a hotel, or I have to buy a condominium.
So, it's interesting, Chris, that you mentioned how Muffet saves the universe.
Yes.
And Rob Baum says, I think, we can credit Muffet for 2 instances where he aided the humans, when he brought the clones to the team in the snow ram, and when he got the breathing aids for those trapped in the rec room. Okay, that's 2 more than me. Well, according to Tips and Toaster, there's even more.
All right, there's more. And then we've got the time he sniffed out and found the Cyrus Bellaby, who had been kidnapped.
That's right.
In the very first episode, he bites the Cylon and saves bites the Cylon's leg and saves Boxy. We could go on and on. I mean, we need to make an entire episode. We'll have to have the clips out and everything else. We'll have to research on it for at least like 3 months. But you know, but I know Boxy to some BSG people is like Jar Jar Binks to Star Wars people. So
you know what? When I was growing up. All right. So when I was watching this, I was 12 when it came out in 78, and I felt exactly that way. I was like, get that creature off of the show. And now I'm like, okay, he's definitely better than Jar Jar Binks. There's no comparison.
And Jar Jar Binks is the best character in Star Wars. There's rumor. Okay, we're getting way off subject here, but I'm going to have to throw it out there. There's rumor that he's a Jedi. You can look up a whole bunch of different things and points to where all this thing is an act and how he could be a Jedi. Like he's one of the lost Jedi.
I don't know.
I bet you type it in. Don't do it now. Stay with us. But later on, go ahead, hit Google and type in Jar Jar Binks as a Jedi.
Oh boy, you just made me upset inside, and I'm gonna have to let it go. But I'm gonna tell you this: Lola says, by the way, I've been shopping for BSG stuff. It's all gone. I figured you guys have it all.
I don't think we have it all, but we're trying.
We're trying. Yes, we are.
We're trying.
Yeah. eBay is the way to go for BSG stuff. Yes, Paul, 100% correct.
I just ordered some more stuff off of eBay.
Oh, boy. Dirk told me one time when the monkey wouldn't do what they wanted it to do, the handler would whip it, and it would come back and perform correctly. They used to whip the monkey. He was such a good monkey. Jeff, that's horrible news.
I remember hearing stories about that too. So,
no.
Once again, you have to remember this was the 70s. And
that's not cool.
Not cool. Yeah, but I've heard. I think I heard somebody else. We interviewed somebody, and somebody else was talking about it. Either Jean-Pierre or somebody talked about it.
No, it was. I think it was Terrence McDonald.
Terrence,
telling us about some. Yeah. That was. Speaking of great names and big things related and people related to Battlestar Galactica, we need more BSG stuff. Eric Engler, of all people, to say this. You know what? Here's to you, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
Here's to you.
Like we need more BSG stuff. Thanks, Eric. We definitely need more BSG stuff. I need more BSG stuff.
We need
Eric.
more.
We talked about that.
More stuff. We had the distinct pleasure of doing a special with Eric Larson.
Yes.
And he shared some great stories with us.
Yeah, if you didn't catch that, it's on replay there. Don't forget to go back and watch it. It was good.
There's more.
It was really good.
Oh, yeah. It was really good. It was really good. I mean, it's Eric Larson, who was he was in the classic. He was in 1980, BJ and the Bear, The Fall Guy. So
he was killed off in The Fall Guy. He was. They tried to kill him off again in Galactica 1980.
We had a lot of fun with him, and he is going to come back. He's coming back. We're going to invite him back. He said he would. He has more stories to share, and the things that he mentioned to us off camera that he will be sharing with you guys are stories that I don't think have ever been published or brought up. And so, unfortunately for Eric, he hasn't done a lot of conventions, so he hasn't had an opportunity to really talk a lot about this. So he's going to come back onto our show as a regular guest, and we're going to do a deep dive into Battlestar Galactica. And he's got that unique perspective, Chris, because, I mean, Glenn Larson
he was on the set.
Dad.
Yeah.
He was on the set. So they brought props home that they would play
with.
Yeah.
I was like,
so,
man, that's not fair.
Oh, yeah. So he was telling us some really cool stuff, and he's going to share that with you guys. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the show, right, Chris, you guys got to go
Yep.
and watch. It's definitely worth it. We did, you know, it was an award, a tribute to Glenn A. Larson, and it was really cool. We got to recognize, you know, his efforts. One
That's
thing, Chris, we
good.
didn't mention that Eric he's the founder and CEO of Larson Lane Entertainment. So he's got his own entertainment company, and you know they have whatever their projects are and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
in regards to projects, he said, you know, he says, like, just like Richard Hatch used to say, you know, keep the faith. There are Larson projects being worked on as we speak. He can't talk about them, but he says they're there. So he's been sworn to secrecy type thing.
yeah,
Which is
non-disclosure agreement
just
stuff.
enough to, I want to know more.
But he's got. But you know Chris, don't forget that he does have other stories though that he's
Right.
you know
There are other Larson
he's going to
projects.
share
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Bound says at the 15 yarn reunion, when an audience member asked the cast what their memories of the show was, Hatch said, "Monkeys in bondage." Oh, poor monkey. Evie, was it?
You know,
Um,
I did reach out to the trainer for Evie. He is still around in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he wrote me back at one point in time. Says wasn't interested at this time. So maybe I'll run back out there and see if he's got any information on it. See
That'd
if
be
he's
kinda
willing to
cool
come
for
on. It'd be
you.
kind of fun. We do a
Yeah, it
whole
would
Muffet
be.
episode, and we could talk about Evie.
Oh yeah, yeah, and talk about Evie and how you know that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Paul Rohr says Eric Larson was awesome at Galactica Con. Yeah, I mean, you know, for those of you that were lucky enough, I know Sean, I believe, was also at both of them, if I'm not mistaken. Rob also attended. Paul, of course, been to like
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
so
you're right.
Chris,
Boone Nar. Yeah.
yeah, Bernard. So we have a whole bunch of things that we do want to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind
one
of
of
getting off
them-
track, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. But one
Like
of
we
them
normally
is-
do, but it's okay.
Like we normally do. We rant and you know
So
we go off.
So we are gonna, we're still doing the Cylon Death Machine, but we think we've picked the next one, right?
Yes.
So
Now you get a chance to show off, Chris. Go
So
ahead.
here's Pete. Let's hang on. Here's Pete's one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hold that up to
There
the
it is.
camera there, Pete.
Yeah, there you go. Right? Can everybody see my PDF of the Battle of Molokai or Molokai?
Molokai.
Molokai? Okay,
Yeah, well-
that's mine.
And then I have to
Oh,
I have to
boy.
one up. I have the original.
Yeah,
I don't have a PDF copy. I actually have an original copy.
You see, Lola. You see who has all the BSG stuff. There you go.
Yep,
That's
and
who's
it's
got
got-
all the BSG stuff.
It's got the pictures inside.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
So I believe this is what we're going to be going to. Whoops, this way. There we go.
Yeah.
So I believe this is what we're going to be going to their next. I know we normally went the book versus episode. I think we're going to run into this one and talk about this one for a bit, and then we'll go from there. But I think Pete and I talked it back and forth, and we really love the Sharon Monroe. What are these fan fiction? They're really novels because they're really large. I mean, that's It's I don't
they're
have any
really
pages.
cool.
This is all typewritten. Looks like
as a matter of fact-
10 type, and it looks like it is. Oh, Paul will like that one. Here you go, Paul. Here you go, Paul.
Nice. Look at that.
It's 95 pages, and they're typewritten, really like 10 type. They're small.
Yeah, it's small, so it's really Even the PDF I have, it's actually a small. I think it's like it might even be 10. I don't even think it's 11. So yeah, it is. But Chris, she's not the lead writer on this.
No, it's Gall.
It's actually somebody called
Lee Gall. Yeah.
Gall. I don't know if that's his real name or a pen name, but it'd be interesting if any of you guys know how to get in touch with Lee Gall. We'd love to interview him because this is a
we know where
folk part.
Sharon Monroe is, but she won't return my phone calls or my text messages or my. Yeah.
You have that power. You have
Yeah.
that power, that magnetic power.
I've even reached out who I believe is her sister and husband and everything else on emails, but never got anything back. So
Man,
we've made a very very big effort to get a hold of her.
yeah.
So
But
if she's watching somehow, please contact us.
please. And
Just
as a
let
matter
us
of
know that you're not interested at least, so I'll leave you alone.
fact, and Lee, if anybody has a contact to Lee, man, we'd love to have him on the show and talk
Yep.
about how how they created these fan fiction stories that are classics. They're really, really good. Karen, thanks for joining us. Janet Jenkins, thanks for joining us. Eric, we love it when you stop by, man. Soft spot for you. So yeah, hey, thanks for watching live, guys. John McCartney's back in the house. All right, cool, John. Thanks for joining us live, and to everybody else that's going to watch this in syndication or as a rerun, thank you for watching. Our numbers have grown immensely, so thank you to everybody for giving us the likes and the follows
And the opportunity to entertain you.
and talk about what we love, which is Battlestar Galactica. Chris, at DragonCon, I want to mention this as well, that you reached out to Gasca.
Yes. So I went to a table that
Andrew
Gasca was supposedly at. He was out at the time, but he wrote he actually wrote the Aliens. He wrote that book.
He's written a bunch of books.
Yeah, why don't you show what that book is? I mean, I don't know, you just
It's called Death of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Very
What's it
cool.
about?
I have a couple of his books.
Is that
he's
like
written
a
couple of books.
continuation?
Plenty of the Apes. This is it talks about what happened.
It's
Finally the truth is revealed. Beneath the irradiated wasteland, the astronaut faces the deadly wonders of a gleaming city and its inhuman citizenry. So this talks about what happened to Taylor. So before the Planet of the Apes blows up with the Alpha Omega, what's going on with Taylor and like the final, like the end. So we watched the movie and we know that Planet of the Apes kind of comes to it blows up, but before it blows up there's other things that happen, and I guess that's what this is.
Yeah.
So it goes into Taylor's story right up until the end and whatever else is going on Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
So-
and I just, like we were talking, I finished the audiobook for Planet of the Apes. It was amazing. It was I think it would have been the movie was great. I love the movie, Charlton Heston, everything else. I love the movie itself. I would have liked to seen this one made too, because it has a little bit different storyline to it that the other one was adapted from, but it was okay. I mean, but it was really interesting to see how they adapted the French Bolet. How do you say it?
Who wrote the original? I'm
Yeah, he
halfway
wrote-
done with it.
Yeah. And if you have Audible, by the way, and you're like a regular, I think if you sign up for, you get those credits if you're a credit person. That also gives you access to some books for free, and Planet of the Apes audiobook is the free one. So, and it's well done audio wise. So I know
It is.
it's really good.
Well, speaking real quick, let me just kind of slide this in, Chris. We have finally we've actually locked down. We're looking forward to having some really, really cool writers, editors, and the like. So we have
And fans.
finally gotten Rich Handley is coming, guys. Rich Handley is going to be on the show. We have a date with confirmed, so he'll be coming up. And Rich has written books on all the franchises. He's covered Battlestar Galactica and Planet of the Apes and all of the stuff. And so we're lucky that we finally got him committed and locked down to a date. We're gonna have a lot of fun when he comes, and as we get closer to his appearance, we'll obviously let you guys know. But I think it's time for us to move into. There's a couple of things, right, Chris? We got a couple of things.
Yeah,
one of
do.
them.
One of them I'm
at
chomping
least
at the bit for, so you're probably going to make me wait.
We got 3.
Yep.
We have an open. We're going to open unboxing. the comic book and the book.
Those are the 3 things. Yep.
Yeah.
So we have an unboxing, we have the comic book, and then we have the book.
And then we're gonna set Solar Knight charges later on.
I'm telling you, it was just a faulty human design, and it blew up on its own. You guys didn't do anything.
Listen, you need to just remember, I got the charges, so I know that you don't want to use yours, but I have mine handy because today's the day, buddy. Today's the day.
Mine's on the gas tank of your car. Oops, did I say that out loud?
When you guys don't see me when he comes back, my chair's empty. I have to go look at. I'm gonna go check out the car.
Smoldering crater.
Yeah. Okay. So, Chris, you got a box in the mail today. Yep. So Lola, talking about having all the toys and stuff, Chris got more toys today. He got more Battlestar Galactica. Just one from the 1978 show screen used. Jeff Walters has one. This is a creation. Mediocre Modeler made these and gifted these one each to Chris and I as gifts. And we thank him for this. It's really cool. Jeff has one from the 78 show screen used, man. Way to go, Jeff. That is really, really cool. If you haven't taken pictures, you need to share pictures of that, man.
Yeah, put it up on the
board.
board.
Love to see that. Very cool.
All right.
Yes, with the leather uniforms. That's right, Paul. That's right. And as a matter of fact, Jean-Pierre Doliac mentioned those when we had him on. He did mention the black leather uniforms that they made.
The one that looked like, was it the hefty bags?
I thought, yeah, I was like, where the hell they get that stuff?
Hefty.
And yeah, no, those are all specially designed and tailor made and the whole 9 yards.
And very hot.
Yes, very hot.
Told.
Yep. Yeah. And Jay Bergion is with us as well. Thank you, Jay, for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope I didn't butcher your name. I apologize, but I want to make sure that I did mention you. Thanks for joining us live. So, Chris, are you going to unbox your?
Well, let's do the unboxing. Well, let me switch over cameras.
Box, right?
Yeah, give me a second. It's okay. So I was searching the internet, and Pete. I don't remember if Pete saw it first or I saw it first, but they ever heard this thing called Loot Crate, and I've seen them before. And, I've got a couple of pieces from another Cylon thing from Loot Crate. And I was like, yeah. It's just they're just trying to make money off of everybody. And sure enough, Loot Crate came out with a Battlestar Galactica Loot Crate. And that was about 2 months ago. Yeah, it was about 2 months ago. And so I said, well, you know what? Let's see. And they don't really tell you what's in it. So it's like one of those surprise boxes, which I had to ask Pete, why would anybody buy those things at the con? I have never figured that out yet. It could be full of air for all they know. But those surprise boxes, whatever, Pokemon box, or you can pick up another box and you don't know what's in it. So it's like one of the surprise boxes. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. It is Battlestar Galactica, and it's supposed to have some classic stuff in it. I have no clue what's in this box. It came in today. I'm excited about it because I want to see what the Loot Crate created. And we're going to open it up on air because it is sealed. I have no clue. I've not seen anybody do any posts of what's inside. So this will be the first view. And I don't even know if they're selling it still or not. They may be. You can look up, I think it's SCIFI Crate or Sci Crate. It's on the front. We'll look at it in a second. So I'm going to switch over cameras, and Pete's going to talk to you for a second, and I'll switch cameras and pull it up.
Okay, so everybody, this is your chance. I want to hear from all of you. Razor Ramon says, coffee cup guaranteed in that box. Jeff Walters sent us some pictures. Okay, cool. We're definitely going to get those. So I predict there's going to be a T-shirt that may or may not fit. Oh, the box is broken.
Yeah, the box got a little. Can you hear me?
Oh no, yeah, I can hear you, but I am now very mad.
Yeah, it got a little damaged in the mailbox type thing. So.
Shot glass. Who says there's not going to be a shot glass in that? There's going to be a shot glass and a mug. So and a T-shirt that doesn't fit.
It says Loot
Come on,
Sci-Fi.
everybody. Let's see what else is in there. Come on. Oh, Paul says, yeah, it's awesome. We'll see if it's complete, though. If it ain't complete, it ain't gonna be awesome.
Well, that's complete. It's sealed.
Eric Engler says, I am thinking a Scar Cylon. I really hope not.
I got one. They had one of those already in the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, vintage.
So-
I'm thinking a Scar Cylon. I hope not, Eric. I hope
So,
it's...
We have a little bit of damage here. Daggett
Neal
fur.
Modeler says Daggett fur. And Paul Roeder says Ambrosia. Or Ambrosa.
I wish
Yeah.
they wouldn't ship it to Virginia. So it's got the one thing I noticed is it's got the Battlestar Galactica thing here is the new version Battlestar Galactica. You know, the 2004 thing. That's got me a little worried. I don't know what's inside of it. So
Oh, by the way, Lola is claiming the T-shirt that you're getting, which is a small. She's claiming that. Razor Ramon says Cylon big head figure.
I got one of those.
Rob says any chance of a cubit or one of those star collar pieces, a patch or sticker of the insignia of a blue circle with a gold triangle. We shall see. Nice comment.
It's not air. At least it's got some little bit of heft to it. I'd say it's about 2 pounds, maybe.
Okay, Jeff Walters says, Paul, I've got about 10 gallons of ambrosia. When I see you at the next con, I will bring you some.
There we go.
Outstanding. I'm in on that.
All right,
It's
so
a red dress. We don't want to see you in it.
let me do this.
Mediocre
First.
modeler, you're 100%. I don't want to see that. Come on, Lola says, come on.
Let me do that first, so if I do turn this over, I don't dox myself.
Okay. Here we go, guys.
All right, so it is sealed. There is the seal.
There's the seal. Okay.
Is it in
Looking
focus?
forward
There
to
it
that.
is.
Everybody wants to see the red dress.
Yes.
All right. Come on.
All right.
All right, don't cut yourself, please. Do not cut yourself.
All right, it's unsealed.
Anyway, unsealed. Open it up. It's the loot crate, guys. Battlestar Galactica. And the first thing is the T-shirt.
Yep, there's a T-shirt here.
Oh,
This isn't gonna work.
Bend
Push
that
this.
back. Bend it back. Okay, now that's fine. No, it's got to go back. Yeah. Okay, come on. There. Push it back. There. That's it.
There we
You
go.
got it. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
All right, so
Okay. Stop fussing. Let's go.
T-shirt is the size I ordered.
Ooh.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's Score. Score T-shirt. That's a nice shirt.
And it's got the old Battlestar Galactica,
Yeah. Oh boy, that's nice.
and it's like a blue.
So
It's
sweet.
not black, so that's
Oh,
good.
that's perfect. Oh, that's sweet, man.
That's a nice T-shirt.
What is underneath that? Is that a Halloween mask?
I don't know. Hang on. I'm still looking at the T-shirt.
Yeah, but we can't see it, so.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Oh, it's a nice shirt.
It is nice.
Oh boy.
And of course, what is on front of it? Of course, put a Cylon. They didn't put a Colonial Warrior on there. They put a Cylon on it.
Sean
Oh.
says it's jelly.
Oh.
Hey, Sean, I thought you got it.
Oh.
What
Oh
happened?
boy.
What is it? Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh. It's cracking awesome for you. That's right.
That's
Paul.
awesome.
Oh, he's got a Cylon hat.
That's so cool.
No. Oh, that is cool.
That is so cool.
Oh boy, that's nice. Oh, it's a Cylon hat. Bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Yeah,
so-
wait, look at that. It even
Wow.
says,
What does it say? I can't see. No, what does it say? Oh, it's not focusing.
hang
Not
on,
focusing. No, it says Battlestar Galactica.
it's even official, yeah.
Oh,
That's a cool hat. New favorite hat.
That's cool. It is.
New
cool.
favorite hat. In fact, that's going on right now.
Boy. Does the red move? Lola wants to know. Does
I
the red
wish.
move?
I wish. Ooh.
Paul says, take my Cupids.
I wonder if you're going to sell more of these hats. This is
What
a...
are you opening it? Put it on the camera, man. Under the camera.
It's a patch.
Come on. Oh, somebody was right. Who was it? Razor Ramon, was it a patch? Or a sticker? Oh, that's okay.
That's a patch.
Okay. That's nice. I like patches. So
Yeah.
you got...
That's a new series patch.
Yeah. Well, put it back under the camera, man.
Hang on, I got to get it out. Oh, there's more than one patch in here.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, see? Okay, yeah.
So there's Primus.
First in the fleet, yeah. No.
There's the Raptors.
Okay. Recon, yeah, the Raptors. Okay. Oh.
And the Vigilantes.
Yeah. Okay. Way cool.
And they all got little things in the back. That's
Ron
cool.
Moore patch.
The Ron Moore patch. Yeah.
And, yeah, George says, are you going to start an auction?
Yeah.
Open it under the camera, man.
Hang on.
Yeah, come on. There you go.
Looks like my other favorite, Starbuck, Kareth Race.
Oh, Race. Okay.
It's a pin.
All right. Okay. No, if I had that, I would auction that off. That's cool, but, you know.
This is a pre-flight checklist.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it's just an empty
Yeah.
empty thing. Hang on.
Yeah, it's just like a notebook. Probably a notebook. You're opening it up and I can't see it, and it's
Hang on.
It's annoying me. There we go, like that. That's what I wanted. I want to see you do that. There we go. Take that plastic.
Got the
off.
corners twist off to, you know the story behind that, right? They said they had to cut corners.
There you go. They did. Okay. That's a nice auction item.
Viper Mark II. Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay, yeah. What is that?
It's just it says Frackius. Loot SciFi is doing Battlestar Galactica Takeover with exclusive collectibles and gear. Unbox this crate and remember how to watch out for Cylons. So here's all the stuff that's in there.
Watch out for Cylons.
So let's see what this is. This is the last piece in there.
All right, make it a good one, man. Fingers
Just a
crossed,
second.
everybody, for the mug. Mug. Love the Raptor patch. Uh-oh, mediocre model wants the Raptor patch. Lola wants the T-shirt. George says just start an auction.
Alright, here we go. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, what is that? It's a Mark II, though.
Still, it's like a hanger thing. So it's a half. So it hangs on the wall. It's like a 3D.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, very nice. I bet you a mediocre model could make that with the Mark I like it's supposed to be.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still cool though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Best thing out of it, the whole thing was worth the hat.
I tell you, the hat and the
The hat and the T-shirt.
Hat and the T-shirt. I thought they were gonna have like a Cylon like helmet thing. That's kind of what I thought they were gonna have.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I don't know if I would say everything in here is worth the amount I paid for it, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. Lola says you can keep the hat. Chris is with us. Thanks for joining us, Chris. We're doing the unboxing, and we just went through a whole bunch of the stuff. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. Would not be hard to make one. Yes, and I think that's what we may have to do is make the Mark I. Where is the challenge coin? George wants to know where the challenge coin is. Yeah, no kidding, buddy.
There isn't one.
Let's see. Mediocre model says, I have a launch bay model at 172 scale. It's still being built. Oh, want to see that? Mediocre modeler. He's in. Love it. Okay. So, never
Not
seen
bad.
a hat like that. Yeah, not bad. The hat's pretty cool, man.
The hat's really cool.
Yeah. Rob wants to know, anyone know where I can get a cap with the original Galactic insignia? It's on eBay. I've
Yeah.
seen those on eBay. There's one particular dealer, I don't know his name, but he definitely makes the insignia on the T-shirt, on a mug, like a light jacket, which I have, and I think he does it on the hat too. So you can just unfortunately, it's gonna. You don't have to dig too deep. It's out there. Yeah, Chris with a red light back and fourth hat.
Yeah, I thought about that. I looked at that and I was like, it wouldn't be hard to make a hat with a light that goes back and forth like that.
That's kind of cool, man.
It is cool.
Nobody except the inside Battlestar Galactica fans will know what that is. Everybody look at you and think it's some kind of like arcade game thing. Only Galactica fans will know. This is perfect.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, listen. So, Mediocre Modeler says, how much was the blind box? Whisper it so the wife doesn't hear.
I think it was $56.
Yeah, don't say that too loud.
Like I said, it's a cool box. With the stuff that's in there, the patches you can get online everywhere that you go. The Kara Thrace thing you can get online everywhere. And I don't think anything special about that. The only things that were special in there that you can't get anywhere else maybe would be the half Viper thing on the side, the hat, and the T-shirt. And I don't know if I would say those were worth $50-some, but I still enjoy the heck out of it. I'm glad I got it.
Well, you got to admit the T-shirt design, very cool.
Yeah.
I get 2 thumbs up for that. Oh yeah, look at that. That's really cool. And it's not anywhere. I haven't seen that anywhere. It's supposed to be exclusive to.
Yeah, and it's
the hat's cool too.
It's stamped. It's official. It's not somebody who made something in the back.
No, it's legit.
Yeah.
It is. Battlestar Galactica. Very cool. Very cool. Checks in the mail. Yeah, Lola. Exactly. Oh, I don't know. What is that? Is that a small? You should create an IFB.
No. They ask you for your size. I'll have to wash it, but we'll see. It should be. Oh my gosh, I missed some of it. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's better now. It's better now. I'm just gonna tell anybody what it is now. You should see this. This is freaking cool.
What are you talking about? You just opened the box in front of us.
This is cool.
Did you miss something?
I missed something. It's cool.
What did you miss? How could it be? You opened the box in front of us. What are you talking about? We missed something. Did you just grab something from under the table?
No.
Something.
No. So here you go. Here's this, right?
Yeah.
But this is a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, it's a long sleeve. Whoa. Oh man. Oh, that's cool. That's even cooler.
It's a long sleeve shirt. It says "By your command."
Oh boy, that's even cooler, man. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. We got to give that some hearts, man. That's for sure awesome.
I didn't see that until I opened up the shirt. I was like, oh, it's a nice shirt. I popped it open. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's cool. By your command.
Mediocre Modeler says you should create an IFB loot box.
Hey, we can do that.
But ours has a mug and a shot glass.
Oh, most definitely. The Tipsy Toaster.
Yeah, Tipsy Toaster for sure. Every Cylon needs that. Dude, Paul, that's a pretty cool shirt, man.
That is a cool shirt.
Lola says it shrinks in the dryer, so you should probably just give it to her. Yes, Lola, we know. Yeah. That is a great design on that shirt. Love classic BSG. Absolutely, John. So do we. I mean, look, we love the franchise. We love Battlestar Galactica, but we are soft on the classic 101%. That's what brought us all together here. But, we have a fine respect for all of it.
Well, I don't mind the new, but like the stuff that was in the box that was the new version is like, I can get that on eBay pretty easily or Etsy without a problem. Now, the shirt and the hat, can't get those.
Yes, exactly. So that's pretty cool. All right, so look, that's awesome. Um, now that you're going to, all right, let's hit the Realm Press Battlestar Galactica. It's number 4, and um, it's really cool, right? I mean I'm impressed, man.
Yeah.
Very very cool.
There's a cool bad guy in the front cover.
Yeah, what is that? It's a creature, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. Yeah, these are the Realm Press comic books. They had the license for a couple of years, and they made the best of it. And it's written. This one is written by Chris Scalf and James Kahoric, illustrated by Robert Scott and Chris Scalf, publisher Steve Atwell, and lettering Tanya Scalf. We are going to have some of the editors and crew that were directly involved with these Realm Press comic books on later in. Let's see if I have.
What's the date on that one?
It's going to be in November, and when we get closer, we'll tell you the date, guys. But I have them locked down, and
We have 2 for sure, maybe 3.
Yes, that we're part of these comic books. So stay tuned for that. And we mentioned, I'll tell you this much. The last time we did one of these comic books, we mentioned all their names. The 3 guys that hoping to get. We're definitely looking at 2, and possibly the 3rd might just make a special appearance, we hope. But we got them. That was a real big feather in the cap because we didn't know whether that's going to be possible.
They're on this list, right?
Yeah. Actually, a couple of them are, not all of them. So,
Right.
This is one of the issues. The last issue, their names were in the last issue, all of them that we have basically. So, we got the Realm Press writers and editors coming, and that's going to be great. I'm looking so forward to talking to them. And so here it is. This is Prison of Souls Part 2.
Part 2, yes.
Part 2. It looks good. Looks good, Chris.
It's a good storyline. I like the once again the pictures themselves in here are done. These are painted, and they're just. I mean, this front picture alone is just breathtaking. It's amazing.
It's cool.
There's so much in this.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember last time. So this is part 2. So Prisons of Souls, part 1. They stumbled across. They were being chased by the Cylons. Gee, imagine that. Always running away from the Cylons. Never want to stand up for themselves. Cowards. Anyways.
Oh boy.
So they're running away from the Cylons, and they, it's like a black hole or whatever else. It was kind of they thought in the beginning, but it wasn't really that. It was just a nightmare. If you remember I don't know if you've read the book Nightmare Machine, but this is kind of the way it's lit. They're all having hallucinations and problems, and during the first episode or first part of the Prison of Souls, the Adama falls sick, and he is put in the med bay, and they're talking about the people that are coming to get them, and he's seeing visions of Boxy and everything else. Meanwhile, they come across these ships that are abandoned in the middle of nowhere. They're just floating in space, and they go to check them out, and one ship is just, I can't remember what they described as. It was huge, very, very large ship, and they're going to check it out. He talks Starbuck into going over there, saying, hey, there may be qubits on board. So Starbuck says, yeah, I'll go. And then, of course, Dr. Wilker gets lost over there. Starbuck kind of goes crazy over there. And then they bring them back to the Galactica, and that's kind of where we're starting back here. So this is, once again, they're having their nightmare scenes. They're just having nightmares where this creature is in their head. And it comes to fruition, actually, so we'll find out. So here they are. They're coming. So this is how it starts out. So they're coming back. They're glad to be back. I love kind of these pictures here because it's kind of, you always wondered what the home life of. So in this series, that it is Apollo and Sheba are kind of together, and then Boxy's kind of like the kid of theirs. So he comes running back. He actually says, Daddy, which is kind of neat. So he comes back on board, and they're, Starbuck's saying he's fine. Their Dr. Wilker isn't so fine, so they've hauled him out, took him to the med bay, and then if you remember in the last episode, so we switched scenes again. Last episode, they were thinking about offing Baltar. The guards were thinking about offing Baltar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
they want to get even for what he did, right? The
yep.
betrayal.
So they're trying to get the betrayal. So this is the storylines running parallel here. Is they're kind of, they've made the plans to off him, and the one of them kind of has a second thought, and they radio the Galactica and let them know that something's going on over there. So once again, it's Starbuck and Apollo to the rescue. So they'll be headed over to the prison barge to do what they're doing there. Of course, Colonel Ty gets in here a little bit, gets in their faces a little bit kind of, and says, so why are we going over there to save his butt? Kind of deal. And Colonel Ty's like, every life is important. So he kind of yells at him that way. And then Starbuck looks at Boomer, and Boomer's like, hey, don't look at me. I said the same thing, and I got yelled at too. They're like, why are we going to go save him? Best picture in the whole book. This is amazing. I love this character.
Okay.
Let me read it first. It says, I need my voice changer, but I don't have it here. Like the blackest night, one menacing behemoth is on direct intercept course with the ragtag fugitive fleet. Their purpose is sinister. Their leader is more foul than the most legendary demon. They are Cylon.
Nice. Yes.
I love it. So this is Volpa 6. We've got introduced him to kind of last one. So
yeah,
he's got some really good close-up photos here. And they're...
Blue eye.
Yep. And they're picking up this the video, this strange transmission that's affecting the humans. What I found interesting was they had human prisoners.
Right. Their eyes are glowing though.
Yeah, the human prisoners are being affected by the same transmission on their ship. So they kind of just cut to that. That's kind of all you get there. So they go back to see Dr. Wilker in the med bay, and Dr. Wilker has freaked out and beat everybody senseless. And
he's losing it.
They ran off, and now they're trying to find him. And then now, also in the med bay was Adama. So Adama is missing too, but it looks like Adama is there to help. So it looks like there's two different styles of this alien. And so here we are with Adama. This is a really good picture.
Yeah, that's what's going on, man. He's like,
yeah.
Losing it. Look at that.
So he looks like he's losing it, but he's actually saving their lives. He puts a bubble around them.
Okay.
That keeps them from getting attacked by this ray.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Dr. Wilker is in the lab. Now, remember, Dr. Wilker is the scientist, and he is creating bodies for the people that are taking over their heads. That body looks like he's creating bodies, electronic bodies and everything else for the things that are taking over their heads, inside their heads.
Oh, boy.
They call the alien is called a synapse. The synapses. So the synapses can't stay alive inside of a human host for a very long time. So he has to create something for them to get into.
Okay. Wow.
And then awesome photo here. This is good. Oh my gosh, that's great.
Jeff Walters says, somebody get a young priest and an old priest. He is possessed.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
It is kind of like a possession story. So here's the thing that he got on the ship is now jumping out of him and into the things that he created. And the things that he created look like that.
Like, oh, there we go. Ooh,
Yeah.
nasty. That's nasty. Let's see. John Repper, thanks for watching. Dave Alexander, thanks for joining us.
All right, so they try to destroy these things. So it gets up on the bridge. They try to destroy it. They can't destroy it. It actually has some kind of force field around it. And then it launches these, best thing I can say is spiders. They go into people's heads. So they go all through. I hate spiders. They go all through the Galactica and they start infiltrating people's heads. There's one right there.
Electronic spiders. They're like, just hate spiders, man. Okay, look, run, Muffy.
Yeah, run Muffy. So Muffy, and of course,
away.
I was waiting for Muffy to save the day again. So I was waiting for that.
It might happen.
Yep. So Boxy and Muffy are hiding from the spider-like things. They're not getting in their heads. Good. And then we get to where Adama starts to talk about what these things are and how they work, and how that they're getting ready to take the Galactica into another dimension, which is another great picture right there.
Nice.
And that way they can take the bodies and into the other dimension. So that's kind of where we at here. This is they built like a Stargate.
Nice.
On the deck there, and then they're going to try to get through that and take the bodies with them. And then, of course, towards the end here, of course, Boxy's always in trouble, right? So Boxy gets captured by one of these things.
Oh, no.
And Apollo is like, Apollo's freaking out. And then, once again, here we are with Help Me, Dad.
He's adopted him.
Yep.
Like that.
So.
Oh no! What the hell?
And of course, we get the 70s style talk in here too. Like instead of it's "Stop, you filthy monster." And then I think in here also there's another spot where it says "Creeps." Let my son go.
There's more spiders.
And then he's fighting with the thing, and he goes through the time gate, or the gate, and he gets to see the other aliens on the other side, and there they are, ugly looking spider looking.
Things.
I hate spiders.
Shoot them.
Yeah, there's another good picture of them.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Got it. Ugh, nasty.
And then we flip back to the Baltar storyline, and they're getting ready to execute Baltar, and of course they kind of kill it there. It says continued.
Yeah.
So then they introduce Robert Scott in here. I don't know if he's one of the people that were coming on. I can't remember who you said. But they introduce Robert Scott and talk about how he's going to be doing a lot of the background ships and everything else in the next couple of.
Let me tell you, Chris, since you brought it up, we have Jeff Vaughn. Jeff Vaughn is confirmed. He's coming on, and he was going to bring another two of his mates that were involved in the realm. And so, since they're not locked in, I'm not going to let's not mention any other names other than Jeff Vaughn. Jeff Vaughn is coming on the show, and he's psyched to talk about Realm and BSG. They are, him and his buddies that worked on Realm are Battlestar Galactica fans like we are, and they've been to a lot of the shows, and they've published pictures of them in their their cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a good time with them.
So, and that would be it. And there's the
Oh,
20-yard reunion thing again, like I did last week.
Wow, that's cool.
I think last week I had
Very cool.
last week's. No, that's not it. Oh.
Where's Muffet to save the date, Jeff? We'll find out in the next episode.
So here's your.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's the differences in the 20-yard reunion last week.
Oh yeah.
And the 20-yard reunion this week.
Oh, that's
Looks like they added a name too. Herb and Jack. Herb and Lorette and Jack. Lorette wasn't on the last one, so.
Yeah, a bunch of our listeners and watchers went. Like we mentioned, Sean and Paul and Rob. When I first saw these Realm issues in the 90s, I thought they were too weird. But years later, I bought them because they were the most extreme Galactica. They were the most extreme Galactica comics, even more so than the Dynamite comics. Thanks for promoting Realm Comics. IFB fans fuel the fleet. Absolutely, John. I mean, you know what? I felt the same. I'd mentioned this before. I remember seeing one of these issues, one of the first issues on the stand. I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know what the hell it was, and I overlooked it and never picked them up when they were actually published, and therefore it took me years and years, decade later, to start picking them up here and there, and only in the last 3 years, actually right before the pandemic, that I really, locked down the most of them. And hey, Chris, I can see. Okay, we were looking at your midsection, but yeah. So then it took me a while to finally get some of the special editions. So I think I might be missing 1 or 2 covers to actually have a full set. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Very cool stuff, and I'm glad that we were able to, reach out and get some of the guys to come on board. Paul Roder 20-yard reunion was awesomeness. Man, I missed that as well. John, you went to, I went to the 20-yard convention as well. It was the best convention I ever went to. Oh, no kidding. Outstanding. All right. So we did not know that. Cool. Oh, man. Yeah. These are the things that memories are made of. And I'm really so psyched that a whole bunch of you guys actually got to go. I never knew anyone that had gone. I could not afford it at the time. And I agonized over, trying to get to it, and I just couldn't get to it. And so all these years later, we get to exchange these stories and enjoy each other's company. So thanks you guys for sharing your piece of Galactica with us, and very, very cool. And he's got the hat on. He got the hat on. He's got the hat on. Nobody knows what it is. He's got the hat on. Nobody's got that. That's like no one has a cool hat. Nobody's got that. Sure do miss Tim the Cylon and Richard conventions won't be the same. Agreed, Jeff. Definitely agree. But we got to we have to persevere, right? So it's all up to us. And so yeah. Lola says bravo. Yes, bravo. He got the hat on. Nobody will know what that is. I'm not sure that even Galactica fans will know right off the bat what that is. That's like a total insider thing.
What is that? Is that Pong?
Atari? Oh boy, that's
the only way they could have made it better is if they made it the way that somehow the red thing would move back and forth,
or made it more not a dot. I wouldn't have made it a red dot though.
Make it the kind of a star-looking thing.
Yeah. It's cool though.
It is cool.
All right. Hey, so don't forget, just auction all the other stuff off. Everybody's, they're all clamoring to get it. When you wear that hat, say this: "Voom, voom, voom, voom." Yes, that's right. That's right, John. That's how even then, people won't know. You can fix,
people
fix
like
that.
Are you okay?
Oh boy, excellent. Hey guys, listen.
I'll just say by your command to be like.
Yeah, they don't know.
What?
I just don't know.
Is that some
Yeah, by your
reference to?
Paul said it. Yeah, by your
Yeah.
command.
Is that some reference to like machine language? Are you a programmer?
All right, so we have one last
Run
thing
CMD.
to
Yeah,
go over,
that's me.
guys, and it's the chapter. Chris and I got to talk a little bit about it before we went on air.
Yes,
Chapter 20.
we are at 23. Well, hang on. We got to do the.
Got to do it, man. Do the intro.
Book versus episode.
Oh boy, I don't understand why there's no Viper.
It's because Cylons rule. They didn't put a Viper on the T-shirt, did they? They didn't put a Colonial Warrior on the T-shirt, did they?
Oh,
They put
boy.
a Cylon in the
Unnecessary.
hat. They put a Cylon in the shirt. They put "By Your Command" on the sleeve. Tell me,
It's cool.
what's the most popular thing inside of Battlestar Galactica besides
Hey,
Moran?
why don't you? Never. Under your breath,
Warren.
you slipped in the Athena. Listen to me. Is there anything on the other sleeve, or
No,
is
there
it
isn't.
just on the right
It's
sleeve?
like someone's sleeve.
Oh, it's one sleeve. Okay, that's weird, but okay.
You only need one sleeve. That's all you need. I mean, come on.
You only need one arm.
Only need one arm to go. Never mind.
God gave you two arms, two eyes, and two legs, and two arms, and I don't know,
So-
man.
Ready to go? You got your book?
I got it right here.
All right, so we're in
Thank you.
chapter 23. If you remember last, it's been a little bit. So sum up the last chapter. I think we closed out the last chapter with, gotta love it, Croft saying, no, there's no possibility of a avalanche. And of course, it must have been a premonition. I mean, come on now. They're shooting at the Galactica. The Galactica is getting in that closed that one area where they're getting pushed into, and they're now commencing random fire. And Volpa is up there, kind of overseeing everything and making sure everything's good to go. And one of the fires, they shoot it, and of course, what happens is an avalanche, and
Yeah.
it takes Croft off the side of the mountain, which none of this is in. Now the avalanche piece was kind of in the regular episode, but it injured Sir 5-9.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say 7 of 9 or 5. I'm crossing the streams again.
Oh, stop it.
So
Control yourself, my
yeah,
friend.
so the avalanche comes down in the show and injures his leg, and they take him away, and he's not part of the whole episode after that. Is there some reason why they did that? I don't know. Maybe his character wasn't supposed to be paid for that much, or I don't know. But they pulled him out, and then they did reshoot this thing. They did have 18 reshoots on the back of this thing, so it could have been part of it there. But the part where this avalanche sweeps Croft off and Apollo cuts the rope to keep him from taking everybody else with him, that's nowhere in there. So we're now starting chapter 23, and we're back to kind of the Croft thought. So if you notice, a couple of these chapters in here have been Croft chapters where it is Croft's point of view, unlike the Adama journals, which were Adama's point of view. And then, of course, there's some of these are storylines, which are just everybody's point of view, which is kind of an interesting way of writing. I'm not sure if there's a way of describing that. I'm not a literary mastermind in this, but it is kind of neat that the way they kind of push these different literary styles together. But anyways, we're back to Croft, first person Croft, and we're entering chapter 23. So that kind of sums up where we were. So, and now I need a drink.
And luckily, you have one handy. So
Yes.
23, Chris, you'd pointed out when we were talking about this right before we went on air, was that the details in this chapter pretty much are totally different
Yeah,
than
there's
what we see
none of these details are in the
second episode.
in the
Yeah.
show pretty much. It's definitely a different look at it. I like it better than, can I say
Well,
that?
there's some details in it
Yeah, of course, you always like the book better than the show, but
Yeah.
yeah, this has
Big
some really
picture.
good details in it.
Big
Still
picture.
admiring my
It's
hat. Sorry.
Yes, you are. You're distracted by yourself. Yes, you're
Shiny,
pretty. Okay,
shiny hat.
very
Shiny
good.
hat. Oh.
Stop showing off. Um, I actually got one of those boxes too, and of course, I figured I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna get home, and I'm gonna open mine up, and I'm gonna know what's in it, and
Ha
tease
ha.
Chris the whole
I
night.
beat you.
And instead, I got nothing.
Now,
didn't mind
I don't know. There's a Firefly box. I might have to get that one.
Isn't that the next one?
That is the next one.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anyways, back to chapter
sorry.
23.
Yeah. So 23 is really all about the struggle getting up the side of the mountain, and a little bit more character development, and it it talks a little bit about Croft's issues. Like he comes to the crossroads of choosing sides. What happens right at that moment when Croft finally he reveals that he is not going to take off, and in fact he's not going to let anybody else leave either, and that he is definitely committed to the mission. They're going to finish the mission, and then he also comes to terms with with Apollo, and he also you know finds the leader in him, and they call themselves the Ice Gang, which we never obviously never
he says to Apollo, says, now you're part of the Ice Gang. But
yeah.
I did find it, so the first page and a half is all about the struggle of the avalanche and how he's trying to swim out of it, and how he's dropped his pack, which by the way had some solanite in it.
Yeah.
So there's less solanite now. But he dropped his pack trying to save his life, trying to swim out, and then he finally, he's like, I'm not, he's not sure he's going to make it. He's worried about this, he's going to die, and then he finally breaks open to the surface, and he gets to the surface, and Apollo is there to save him, which he finds very interesting because he figures, Apollo needs to blow up the gun emplacement, and he cut the line and let him go down with the avalanche, but here he is climbing down to get to him to save him and asking him if he's okay, and and Croft's like, well, I thought you would have left me, and then Apollo kind of comes out with the truth here. He says, I needed you for the explosive experience, pretty much. Yeah, I would have left you probably, but I needed you for the explosive. And then that they kind of cement more of a bond, and of course there's still the furtive looks of Lita and not Thane but Wolf. Hey, we're gonna you're gonna follow us. He's already said he's gonna take off with them, and then of course they start climbing the mountain again, and they finally get to the intake. That kind of piece is in the episode with the intake, air blowing in.
Yes.
Not as dramatic in the book as it was in the show. Yeah. But it's still in there. And of course, then they start to break in.
There's the dialogue between, Croft and Lita, right? So we definitely get a lot of, how Croft is battling inside of him with, the relationship, and, he feels for her. Obviously, like, he's still in love with her. And it comes out in this chapter, right? It's there, but Croft also has a little hand to hand with Wolf, and they're like, come on, you got to go, like, now's the time. This is at this point in the book, this chapter is when Lita and Wolf say, this is when we go, and we don't care about the Galactica. Right. Croft solidifies the fact that no, he is going to carry out the mission. Yeah, obviously this is after Apollo saves him, and they're up on the cliff, and now it's the last push.
Now the gun comes out, and hey, we're out of here, and who saves the day? Muffet.
Croft.
Just kidding.
Dumb.
Croft actually saves the day by the gun goes off again. Wolf stumbles. Croft takes advantage of it, gets the gun away, and then talks them into staying and helping
Yes.
out, which is different than the show, because in the,
show, Wolf takes off.
Wolf takes off and Lita stays
Wolf,
there.
You see him running off. He
Yep.
runs off. But
So
that's
they-
not how.
Yeah.
That's not here. It's totally different.
So so we're looking at, they look down, they see a ship, and they're like, hey, that's the ship. We're going to take it. We're out of here. And Wolf, hey, we've got a mission. We got to see it through.
Yep.
He gets the gun from Wolf and kind of talks them into doing it. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll stay. And then he actually talks Apollo into agreeing to let them go at the end of the mission.
Yes.
So, hey, when the mission's
That's the
done,
deal.
you guys, here's the deal. You guys can get in the ship and you can go wherever you want.
That's basically how this wraps up. That Croft, there's a compromise with Apollo. Everybody will go, and then Apollo says at the end of it, he says it to him. It's like, where are you going to go? There's nowhere to go. And then they rehash this. Doesn't matter. We're out of here. We're not going to stay with you. We're not going to whatever. So that's Croft's little diplomacy in this chapter. That Apollo says he's like, fine, let's just finish this out, and then you guys can take off. So that's where we're at. And
Right.
actually,
And then they get into the tube.
yes, they get
To
into
get
the
down
tube.
into the thing. So they get in the tube, the air blows. We kind of talked about that
Yep.
earlier. And then they get to the grate, and they look down inside, and what they see is just like we talked about before. Remember, Volpa is not gold here. Volpa is what is he, Pete?
He is the what is it, Prime Centurion or Centurion?
close.
Yeah, something like that, right? The hell's it called? He's just a Centurion. No, he's
not a
the
Centurion. He's
Prime, right? What the hell? So bottom line is Croft recognizes him for the black that he has
Black-
on, the black
the
stripes or something. Yeah, he's got black stripes,
like
and
sergeant
so he
stripes.
recognizes him. Yeah, and he recognizes him as the Centurion Prime, or what the hell does he call him? He calls him something. Come on.
Now you
Anybody
got
get
me
it?
wondering. It's oh, hang on. I bugged you about it a couple weeks ago too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. He's a
Maybe
what?
a little. Yeah, maybe a
He's
little.
a.
Yeah, come on.
Somebody will probably catch it here in a second.
There's Cylon gunners. There's Cylon's shot. They identify
Not a
them.
lead. It's
Croft
a,
sees it.
what do you call it?
and
One with
he's
the
like-
two brains.
He's like, oh, that must be the leader, and dominates the center of the chamber. Beyond them is another officer, except he's got a lot more bands. Get this. So
Yep.
this is interesting. A group of officers gather around some kind of console directing the action of the gun. Beyond them is another officer looking very much like them, except he's got a lot more bands of black decorating his silver metallic uniform. The decorations, if I remember correctly, identifies him as a first centurion.
Yep.
Right? So that's right from the book, and it's only
So there's a
about-
rank structure that we're not aware
There
of
is. Yeah,
in the show.
unfortunately.
So they don't
Yeah.
really get into the Cylon stuff much, other than they're silly little, they're not. Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
intended to be that way, but they were that way because
Right.
of the censors. But I really like the way they're portrayed, and of course the books. Of course, that's just me, because I think it would have been a better antagonist. No, they're not protagonist. They're antagonist, right? Am I the right word?
Yeah.
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 The antagonist of the books and the show would have been much better as the Silent Centurions being a lizards in armor with their rank structure and smarter and faster type thing.
Yeah.
It would have been a much better show. Instead they went with Baltar, which is okay. It was still, once again, it was just creative choices makes things go in different directions. So that's plenty, so that's just fine. So I think the creative choice here was interesting that they went away from Volpa being the main
Bad guy.
antagonist in the entire series and made it
Yeah.
Baltar, which is why, if you read the book, I can't remember which book I read the book. There's 18 reshoots for the end of this thing, and it was put in the wrong spot. Like, you see Baltar limping.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be limping. He's supposed to be limping because he was injured on the planet where the
Cobalt.
Yeah, Cobalt, when they went to Cobalt. So
Right.
Anyways, so they're down there, and then they start the shootout.
Yes, and Apollo is he takes out a couple of key Cylons around the I guess it's like the gunner station.
Yeah,
and
which is kind of like what is in the show.
Yeah, and then they start laying they start setting up the charges.
But they don't. The charges they describe in the book are way different than that. The charges they describe in the book almost describe them as wires. So
It's like dynamite.
The book
Or plastic explosives.
the
It's more
book
like
chart.
C4.
The book says they're like wires, and
Yeah.
when they're sealed against the thing, there's no way you can pull them off.
Yeah.
So
The wires are almost indestructible.
that fills
or
that
something
plot
like that.
hole. The plot hole of them pulling the things off is they can't pull them off because they're kind of, when you put these wires on, they burn themselves in to the metal or something. So there's no way to keep them from going off.
Right. And that's almost now where we end the chapter. Or but it's the end of the chapter.
Yes, it is
right?
the end of the chapter.
They set the solanite charges, they set everything up, it's all wired up, and
They were
it
attached
says
by Velcro, yes.
yeah.
And some of that Velcro
now-
you just can't get off. I agree totally.
Yes.
An
And it
industrial
ends
Velcro.
with now the Cylons can tear at the solanite all they wish. There's nothing they can do
about
the
it.
gun's going down. And that's how
And of course,
that's how
we
they
know the
ended
solanite
chapter.
is not what did the thing anyways. It was all, it was built by a human. So, of course, it had these flaws.
It's the flaws, the human flaw.
The human
The
flaws.
human
of these
condition,
things.
according to Tipsy Toaster, of course, always. By the way, right, I've said this before. This is my original copy. I purchased this one that I'm using to read, sharing with you guys, which is the ultimate in what I always like to do is, be able to share. 1979, I picked this up. This is my original copy that I read back then, and this is the one I still use now. I'm not using
It's not mine because my mom sold all my stuff when I joined the Navy.
Nice. No, this
So I
is
lost
mine.
all my books.
No. This is my original. All my originals.
I had all my Star Wars books too.
I think. Oh, Splinter the Mind's Eye.
Yep.
Talking
I
about.
used to have that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, that's bringing us closer and closer to the end. The chapters get smaller
getting
and
real
smaller,
close.
guys.
I mean, we're looking at, here we go. This is all we got left. There's
Yeah,
that little spot
very
right
little.
there.
Very little.
Been a great
and
book,
like
though.
we
I mean,
said-
I really enjoyed this one.
This is a good one. But I think all said and done, Chris, the decision that we've made that we announced tonight to do the Battle of Molokai is a good one. I think we're gonna have fun with that as well. And again, we have some.
I'll give you a hint on the
guests
Battle of
coming.
Molokai. You actually find out why Green Bean is not on the Galactica, where he was on the Galactica, and how he ended up on the Pegasus. Bojay, sorry. Oops. They're the same. Bojay, Green Bean, whatever.
No, they're not. But anyway.
Jolly. Yeah,
Yeah, no, they're not.
all you colonials look alike anyways.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. All right. God, you
can find out.
Cylon, you.
Inside this book, it talks about how they, their vision of how he got on the Pegasus. So this is the Pegasus book. So this is kind of cool. I think Paul will like it. If Paul's still out there, I don't know if he's still watching, but Paul will. And if you haven't read this book yet, you'll like it because it starts to talk about the Pegasus and how it got in the Battle of Molokai, which is where the Pegasus went. So it does have some plot holes in it. So we'll talk about that. But
And it's one of four. I don't know
Yes.
that we have. I don't know, Chris, if you
I
have
have all
all
four.
four, but You do, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have all 4. If not, they're
it's,
online.
yeah.
All of these are online.
So we will be doing them. So thanks everybody. We had another great show. I think we had a lot of fun, and thanks for watching live with us. Those of you that are with us, and looking forward, of course, to doing our next show and having our guest come up. Next guest, as a matter of fact, just so that everybody knows, today it was Neal. And next show, we're going to have Jeff Schwartzy, who is the publisher of the New England comic newspaper. And we were actually in the latest edition. IFB was in it, and he's going to come on and talk to us about the state of comic books. And the whole industry is going through a very hard time. And so he'll come on and he'll talk to us about that. And that's very interesting. And so we're looking forward to the conventions now that they're coming back. Chris, it was a lot of fun seeing that Loot Crate. And I really like looking at the Realm comics bring back some really cool memories. As yes, and your hat, of course. All right.
You've got one too now, so you're going to have to wear it.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to have it because I didn't get it yet. So we'll see. We shall see. Just remember, don't whip your monkey. Yes, Jeff, that's right. Do not abuse.
Don't beat the monkey.
That's right. Don't do that. That is bad. Yes, Paul is still with us. Thanks, guys, for all your comments. Thanks for, chatting it up. The hat rocks. Yes, it does, Paul. So, yeah, we're looking forward to, just continuing on, having good fun.
And just so everybody else knows, we just finalized the week after next week, we will have Baz Arm from Australia, who is building a Viper in his garage. He's coming on to do talk about that and how his neighbors must think he's insane.
Oh, yeah. We have a bunch of guests that are lined up. We mentioned a few. We have more in the wings. There's others. There's other writers and, other individuals that are coming on. And we will get back with Eric Larson as well and have him on before I think the year is up. I think we're going to have him back.
And I just wanted to jump out. Let me jump in. Don't forget, we also interviewed the Hogans. Sherry Hogan. Sherry, oh my gosh, I do this all the time. There's too many S's. So don't forget to, if you got some money left over to this payday or something like that, throw some towards the Hogans on their my gosh, I had a hard time thinking. The money thing. What do you call it, Pete? When you
we have we're working
when you do the money, it's called
doing a charity.
GoFundMe. Don't forget the GoFundMe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The GoFundMe.
But it's for charity, and the charity is for Michael Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't forget to do the GoFundMe for Michael Hogan. And if you haven't seen that interview, check it out. It's on our channel also. They need some help. Even though it looks like a lot of money is there, it's not a tremendous amount. Even though I teased when we did an interview, I said it's Canadian dollars, which $300,000. What's that? 25 cents in American? I'm just kidding, Canadian listeners. I'm just kidding. But they have 300 and some thousand. They have a goal of 400 and some thousand. I guess the house needs a roof still, and there's some challenges they still face. Pandemic is still up there, and Michael is still in the hospital, and at least they can somewhat see him every so once in a while. So I just want to throw that back out there again. If you haven't seen that, check it out. If you got some extra cash, throw it towards the GoFundMe for Michael Hogan. Just looking at the GoFundMe for Michael Hogan. GoFundMe and look up Michael Hogan, and you'll find it.
And happy birthday, Athena Marin Jensen. Let's not forget that. That's how we started the show. So happy birthday to you, Athena, wherever you may be. We're all big fans, and we wish you the best. Ambrosia's kicking in. Yes, it is. Viper in the garage is not insane. It's cool. I agree, John. And yeah, so guys, thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to tell your friends to come on board and watch with us. And if you have any email issues, contacts, whatever ideas, info@interfleetbroadcasting.com. From me, New York Pete, stay safe and see you at our next show. Keep the faith. Remember, fans fuel the fleet. Chris, back to you.
Everybody, don't forget YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Get on there and hit the like, share it, do all of this stuff. Thank you for joining us. Happy birthday, Marin. I really wish I could talk to you someday. Maybe we'll see. I have to say that. I mean, maybe she'll watch someday. Maybe someday she will see her wonderful, beautiful face that she has right there. I mean, look at the eyes and the cheekbones and perfect nose and everything. So, anyways, I can dream. Everybody's got a dream. My dream is to interview Marin finally, but that may never happen. But it sure is a nice dream to have. All right, so everybody, fans fuel the fleet. Happy birthday, Marin. Thanks for everybody for joining us. And we will see you next week. We'll circle back around in the Bay Star or the Battle Star for some of those others. Pick you up for another quick trip for about 2 hours and have some fun then. So see you then. Y'all take care.